Hi, so today I'm going to be doing a drag, transgender and cross-dresser sort of basic foundation. This is what I do for when I'm dressing up as Sparkle. This is what I do for my base. You don't have to do it, this is just merely sort of to give you a rough idea. It's not exactly what everyone does, you know, everyone has their different preferences. So in this video, I'm going to be using trusty pan stick. Like, this is like basically your godsend, pretty much. I'm going to be using Estee Lauder double wear, and I'm going to be using a highlighting and contouring palette. I think it's the only one I have left. It's not exactly the best, but it'll do. So, right. First you're going to want to conceal with, you know, any concealer. So I've got red everywhere on my face because I'm sunburned hefty. So I just like to use my finger. A lot of people like to use brushes or sponges. I think you waste too much makeup on them. Whereas if you do it on your finger, it's transferring from your skin. Onto your skin. So I'm just going to go over the green with a nude. And then I'll go over that with foundation. So you just want to repeat that over any, you know, red area or spot. Actually not too bad. So now what I'm going to do, now what I would recommend is if you get, especially if you have really dark hair like me, like obviously I don't get facial hair, but apart from laser treatment, which is like super expensive, if you get a neon orange lipstick, you just run it like along your hairline, then just blend it in with a sponge, you know, and then go over it with a pan stick, and then set it with powder. You should be fine for the rest of the night. This is something that's been going around the drag and trans scene for years. It's one of the best techniques that I've used on someone. So I'm just gonna run my pan stick on my cheekbones because I want a really, really, really light cheekbone for this. Because sadly, you girls don't have cheekbones. So, because obviously you were born male, but you know, I'm also going to put a little bit of it there and there, because you want to have a three-dimensional face. If you use one colour all over, it will just look flat. Well, not one colour all over, but if I was to use this all over, I would just look flat. And I don't want to look flat. It's not a flat look. So I'm just going to get some Estee Lauder, just a tiny drop, not much. You don't really need a lot. Well, I don't need a lot. You might need a lot. In fact, you probably will. You can still see where my lips been tinted from the lip tint that I've used in the last tutorial. So I'm just churning them out because I'm not sure when I'm going to be able to next do a video, so I figured why not just do them all in one night. Yeah, so the reason why I cancelled my other one was because me and my friend was looking over it. It's a makeup artist also. And it was just like, yeah, it basically asked who had told me these things. Well, he knows who had told me these things, I tell a lie. He knows it was my tutor, and he was just like, you know that all of these things that she's told you are lies. Just basically do what you do, don't do what she does. So I figured, yeah, he's right. Do what I want to do. So I'm doing what I want to do. So after that, I'm going to set it with a powder, translucent powder preferably, but you know, I know what some of you girls are like. I mean, you don't have to follow my way of doing it. This is just the way I do it. Secretly. When I'm not working on you. I was just so disappointed when I found out that my tutor just taught me the wrong way of doing things. You know, I paid. It's not as even if I'd gotten a grant for it, I actually paid for that course, and I'm really pissed off. You know, getting paid to be taught something that's turned out to be a lot of bullshit. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a highlighter, and I'm going to get just a small like blusher brush, and I'm going to highlight where I use the pan stick. I'm going to do my cheekbones. But actually my apples of a cheek, not even my cheekbones. And I'm going to do my chin. I'm going to do a cupid's bow. I'm going to do my nose, and I'm going to do a bit of my forehead. And I'm also going to add a little bit of white in, just to give it a bit more oomph, because as I've said before, SBC are shockingly shit. I've got that much product of them left over from when I was at college. Just white. Or it can just be white eyeshadow or anything. And you can even use bronzer for this, you know, you don't have to use a contouring. Now you're gonna have to find your cheekbone, so use your pinky, or you can use the end of your brush just to find it. And mine is roughly there. So I'm just gonna lightly just go in. Now sometimes I feel that going in straight down can masculinize the face a bit. Whereas I feel if you go a bit curved, that will give it a bit more of a womanly curve. But that's just my preference, you know, might not be right. I don't claim to be right. I'm just doing what I prefer. And just repeat on the other cheek so you find that where your cheekbone is. And just basically go in and draw it in. Because sadly, you guys are born with cheekbones. For some reason, I don't know why, but men don't have as prominent cheekbones. And you know, it is quite hard for girls. Oh, T-girls and that. You're also gonna want to dent in here because that's what happens on a woman's face. Just dent in here a little. You don't want to do it too much. You don't want it to be too obvious. And then to link it together, I like to add a nice pink, a nice baby pink. Or if I can find my new blusher, that'll do, I think. Oh, it just fell out. Ugh. Maybe not going to use that. I'll just use the pink that I was planning to use. I'm just going to use just a light pink. I've no preference, you know, this is just my way of doing it. I'm not saying you have to follow my way of doing it. I just blend it. Obviously you want to do your eye makeup before you do your face. Sometimes I don't have a dramatic eye for when I'm doing drag because sometimes it could just be too much and it can be a bit obvious on certain people. And the last thing you want to do is look obvious. You know, as if you haven't got enough with the creepy admirers and stuff. Which I've never really... It's like my friends get it a lot and it's just... It's so annoying when you're in a club. Especially when you're meeting. I mean, like, I'm 6'2" woman. And because, like, I'm with... like 6'2", 6'3", and 5'11" cross-dressers, they seem to think that I'm a cross-dresser. And then some male admirer would just swagger up and I was like, alright, and I'm just like, get away from me. It's like, I'm not interested. And what else I sometimes do to my nose, especially, this is really good if you have like really wide set nose. Like mine isn't that wide set, but I like to define it a little. I just think it makes it look a lot nicer. I mean, I already have a really, really, really nice nose, but I'm not one to brag or anything. That is like the one part of my body that I actually do like, is my nose. Now you're just going to want to blend. So, if you feel like it's a bit too heavy, just get like translucent powder and just put it over. So yeah, it's basically a transvestite, transgender, cross-dresser, drag queen face.